Welcome to Charting on May 34th, 2024. Yeah, let's get right into it. I'm not gonna look at chat. What do you mean you can't hear me, bro? What do you mean? Can you hear me? Okay. Let's get into it. What do you mean, bro? Am I actually muted? Alright. Anyways, let's get into charting. So, right into it, this is what we see coming in to the morning. Really, there was two things that were going through my mind before New York session opened, and it was this, right? I said I would like to see London lows, previous day Asian lows, get taken for extra bullish confirmation, but we did take out plenty of sell side here, and we just dumped hella, so we can expect a retracement regardless without having to take this. But I know for a fact when this gets taken, when these Asian lows, when these Asian lows get taken, we're gonna have a strong rejection. And until we see like a genuine, crazy structure on the daily to the downside, our bias is going to be bullish 95% of the time. So you really just want to be trying to catch any long opportunity that's given within your model, and not forcing any sort of short. So regardless, right, this doesn't look bad, because we still, we take out a level sell side here, and we know going into this morning that we can probably catch some longs, but right, this all depends on if the lower time frame is giving us clear enough structure to catch some longs. So let's get right into the morning, right, to say the least. Just right off rip. So we were higher up actually in the morning, 9:30 opens, whatever, but we had news, so we're not trading 9:30, and we're waiting till 10. So let's wait till 10. So whatever, 10 a.m. rolls around, and we start getting some, structure towards the upside. We manipulate lower, ends up just running up. No entry for longs yet, because this fair value. A lot of you ask like, oh, but what if you get an inverse but internal high gets taken? Do you wait for, this is your internal high right here, and you guys ask all the time, so what if you get this inverse, but in the process of inversing this internal high gets taken? Do I still take it? No, you don't fucking take it, and you especially don't take it if you retrace into the inverse. That's fried, alright? That's not how it works, because with inversions, you're trying to be inside this move before the take of the internal low or internal high happens. That's the whole point of the inverse. You're able to get in this early. If you're taking the fucking inverse up here, I almost just puked. If you're taking the inverse up here, then it's invalidated, bro. You can't FOMO into this now. There's no point, because you want to be able to at least par trade internal high and then just break even and have runners towards the rest of these highs, and that's how you're gonna get such good win rate. That's how you're gonna make so much money consistently. So just keep that in mind, right? If you get an inversion, but in the process of an inversing, the leg or the fair value gap, you take out internal high or internal low, right? This can be vice versa. You're not taking this inversion. Anyways, so still, we kind of just wait around to see what happens here, and here we start kind of accumulating a bit, right? We get some decent manipulation lower, simultaneously tapping us into this 5-minute fair value gap. And so things are pretty much aligning. We also have an inversion of this 5-minute right here, right? So if we're basing this just off inversions and not just let's base it off both, right? We got this 5-minute inverse. We see that we have a sort of higher time frame, not a higher time frame, you can see the PDI on the 5-minute. You're also gonna be able to see it on the 15-minute, and on the 1 minute it's a little bit harder to see. But you can see that higher time frame narrative, and I'm not talking about 1 hour and 4 hour, but 5-minute, 15-minute, etc., is going to look really bullish for the most part. And anyone who's in this Discord who's been in this Discord for longer than 2 weeks would understand that themselves, which is why you guys were able to catch a trade today without the fucking signal. I unfortunately could not find anything. PM session just sucked ass. But anyways, we rebalanced this 5 minute after inversing this 5 minute as well. For the most part, the draw looks pretty clear, right? We have these buy side levels up here. Here's one buy side level, more buy side up here. And then if you want, you can also mark out these super extra confluence equal highs over here. So like I'll just mark out this one for how these get taken actually on Friday. But you have equal highs up here, one right here, and just more. I guess I'll mark like one out just for the fuck of it. But like these equal highs and shit. Anyways, that's not the point, right? The point is, you look at the 5 minute, you see a very blatant PDI. So you start accumulating, price manipulates lower, you get an inversion of this 5 minute. I know you are still trading within this 15 minute, but the 15 minute, like, it's not gonna be what you're looking for here. Like a 15 minute inversion, sure, it can be helpful, but when it's this large of a leg, if you have targets within this leg that are clear enough, you're not going to need this whole 15 minutes to get inverse. So really we're just going to be paying attention to the 5 minute here. And so now a lot of the things are now, like, just a lot of the fucking bias and the lower time frame and things are just starting to align much clearer now. And so we wait for a setup. We notice that we start to get this bearish fair value gap form after getting this little choppy fucking uptrending PA. We eventually manipulate lower and rebalance this 5 minute. And in the process of manipulating lower, what do we create? We create a bearish fair value gap. And so we tell you guys, hey, if we get an inversion here, you know, we're willing to take this. First target's probably going to be around there. But what don't we like about this fair value gap is that it's going to be in the premium of this range. So yes, like we're not going to get a one-to-one towards internal highs. We can anticipate that price is going to run past and, you know, take this high, but we don't know, like, for a fact that this entry is, like, solidified enough to just be the fucking entry that runs towards these buy side levels, because we are taking a long from the premium of this leg, right? From the discount of the whole range, sure, but from the premium of this leg, we are taking a long. And although, you know, it's high probability it takes out internal high, we don't have enough confirmation to know that this is going to be the run that takes out this buy side level up here. Really, we just rebalanced the 5 minute bullish value gap here. It happens to held the inverse value gap, but we're probably going to need to see something relatively stronger than just these confluences to get this whole move up. And so we'll go over that, right? So we enter here for this long, immediately break even when we hit around, obviously when we take out internal high. Sorry, let me mark that out for you. We break even at internal high. We did mention, you know, high probability we get break even here, whatever, but it is worth the just the fucking risk, because everything is aligning for the most part, and really all we can hope from this is just that internal high isn't just a sweep, but we get, you know, you just break through it and continue delivering up. But that's why you want to break even at like such a prominent like liquidity pool like this, right? This internal high right here, because for all you know, this can just be the continuation up to internal high, sweep internal high, go lower, take out this low, whatever, and then you get caught in this shit and you don't want to get stopped out. So this is something, these trades are going to be things that you really will just start to comprehend more and more as you get more screen time. What the fuck are you guys talking about? And yeah, I mean, you'll understand that these trades are high probability towards internal high, but you know, you don't take these that often where it's like this deep into the premium. But if the draw is clear enough, sure, it's worth the risk, and you kind of just want to see the price continues to run higher after you break even at internal high. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, but you know, that's why you try it, and this is why like strategies like this have been backtested enough to know that, you know, there's a good chance it could work, but you know, who cares? If you get break even, what the fuck happened? Nothing. You lose $0, unless you're like Will, who lost $137 because he probably thought that we were going to get break even and then it was going to run higher. But that's not the case. Anyways, he did make it back, so it doesn't matter. Right, you can see here, the break even saves us. We end up getting another run lower. We take out this sell side level right here. This is like giving opportunities right now for like a turtle soup, sort of speak, right? Sweep of this, well, maybe not this. This, sure, but you probably want like an SMT for a high confirmation turtle soup. But regardless, you get this sell side level taken out. Once again, we don't get any fair value gaps in the process of taking out this sell side. We wanted to see something like that form for another opportunity at an inverse setup, but that doesn't happen. We still, well, I mean, 1 second. Yeah, then we run lower. So this PA was just dog shit. You can't really do much about this PA right here. You're just sort of sitting through this, analyzing, being patient, waiting for something good. I did say, hey, these shorts don't look bad at this 1 minute inversion, just forward testing really. I didn't take this at all, but I did say, if you see this, this fair value gap inverse here, we can expect this to run lower. And so, let's say you did take this, how would you go about this, right? So, I mean, really the reason I thought this was even relatively good, oh my fucking god. Holy shit. Is because you have an SMT at these highs, but on top of that, you break out of this accumulation zone right here. You end up getting a relatively small manipulation move up. You get a fair value gap to inverse. This just kind of sets up like a quicker scalp PDI in a sense. You have this internal low, which looks like a great target as your first TP. Gives you more than a 1-to-1. You can take a partial there, and then really, the reason I didn't like this trade is because the draw lower isn't clear enough. Like the internal low is a pretty free target, but I'm not trying to take like some quick scalp like this, really. And then this would be your next target, but instead you have ES take this and not NQ, and so I guess you would just have to fucking partial off an SMT, which is kind of a mutt doing, but whatever. That's kind of how you would approach this trade if you were to take this. But then again, I didn't really like it. We were holding this. We were very obviously respecting this 5 minute fair value gap here, and we're still waiting for our long opportunities. And so let's go over this. Right, in the process of getting this move down, what happens is that we create a 2 minute fair value gap, as you can see right here. So let's delete all this real quick, and I'll just focus on this. So let's go over the confluences for what we're seeing here. So we're inside this, we're respecting this 5 minute bullish fair value gap, right? We're respecting this 5 minute bullish fair value gap. We have an SMT at these lows right here. This is our new internal high. We still haven't taken out these buy side levels. Primarily this one is probably going to be the most important to me. We haven't taken out this yet. And right, SMT inside bullish fair value gap. That's always pretty fucking nice. That's great confirmation. And so, what don't we like about this trade? So, on the 1 minute, this is just like trash volume imbalances. You have one fair value gap up here. This fair value gap is going to just be neglected because why? That's not the highest time frame fair value gap. Our highest time frame fair value gaps are going to be on the 2 minute. And in this case, you have this one. And you have this one. Right? 3 minute, what do you have? Nothing. So, our main focus is going to be the 2 minute. Why? A lot of you were sending me your trades today who are new, and you're like, oh, but like, I'm not really understanding too much like what's going on here. Listen, like, if the 1 minute, whatever the highest time frame fair value gap is usually going to tell the story. It's going to be the highest confirmation. Why do inversion setups work so well, and why are you able to catch trades with like such momentum? Is because once you invalidate every P array within a leg that could be working against you, what is there left to respect that would, essentially reverse your trade? Nothing. It's essentially, in this case, just up from here because we invalidate all the fair value gaps. Now all we have left to do is take out liquidity. But you're not like the 1 minute you're obviously not going to wait for. Even if this 1 minute did happen, it's way too high into a premium, shit entry. Your risk rewards towards internal high is just dog water. And then the 2 minute, there's times where if you have enough screen time or if you've traded inversions long enough, where, now I'm not saying it's like an intuition based thing, but if you really hyper analyze price action and you, in your head, your draw is clear enough, sometimes it is okay to pick and choose which fair value gap you want to inverse. But realistically, at the end of the day, where you will receive the highest amount of win rate, the most consistent results, is by having your rules laid down really firmly with this inversion. And it's every fair value gap in the leg needs to be inversed of the highest time frame. In this case, we have both of these. So realistically, this setup isn't valid until this fair value gap gets inversed. But I will say, here is other reasons why sometimes you can have like enough conviction to understand that this could also work out in itself. And it's going to be that our daily is bullish. Our 1 hour is pretty fucking bullish for the most part. We took out sell side levels and we're feeling bullish. It's overall at all-time highs. We're bullish. Market structure shifts to the upside. We start trading above. Like we just break out of this consolidation period. We trade above it. We create a 5 minute fair value gap. The 5 minute fair value gap continues to be respected. We're not delivering passive whatsoever. We're not invalidating it. It continues to be respected. We get an SMT inside this fair value gap. And the buy side levels are very clear. So there's two ways your brain can kind of go about this, and that's like, okay, I understand, like this is only valid if you understand the risk that like you're taking. And that's, okay, I take this 2 minute, there is a chance I'm going to respect this 2 minute right above me, and it's going to fuck me over, and I'm going to get stopped out. Or there is a chance that this 2 minute inside the discount of the range being inversed is the more important one, and it's going to tell the story, and I rather take my risk here and get some better risk to reward rather than missing out on the trade if it plays out. Really, like, if you're new to trading inversions, don't be trying to pick and choose which inverse you like more because better are this, that. Just know that you need to wait for every single highest time frame for value gap to get inversed. And like I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, if you don't fucking listen to those rules, you will get fucked over most of the time. Not every winning trade is a good trade. I hate to say it, dude. Not every winning trade is a good trade. And you really need to start to understand that because it's gonna save you a lot of losses in the long run. You're gonna get inversion setups all the time. Anyways, so this 2 minute gets inversed. Now I'm feeling pretty good. My confirmation rises for longs, but I still want to see this 2 minute get inversed. And so we do get an inversion of this 2 minute, but super close to the internal high. And so it's a no fucking go for me. I can't, just way too against my rules to be taking a trade like all the way up here. And so we don't enter on this, but as you can see, everything else aligns. Price, just rips up for the most part. And yeah, these are like the two primary targets. I like if you have like two cons, I guess, or like, however you want, your safest bet here would be full closing at this, especially now that you're going into 11 a.m. But for the most part, the draw is higher, but I would full close here just because of time. Even if you just analyze, let's say like, well, I guess like 11 a.m. opens down. So, yeah. I mean, once you take out this buy side level, 11 a.m. manipulates slower, takes out this buy side level. It's kind of hard to anticipate that you'd run higher after this, but if you have runners, you have fucking runners. And so that pretty much wraps up like AM session. I'm not really gonna go over PM session because I didn't like it for the most part. There wasn't anything too significant. I did see the most absurd thing, and that was like the 330 rip, bro, which was just stupid. But like, look at this. So this is just like, bruh, come on. I mean, if this was at any other time, this is the freest trade you could ever take. You have equal highs right here. This is at post 330. You have equal highs above. You take out a level of sell side right here. Take out another level of sell side in the process as well. You really shouldn't be trading at this time, but fuck, this is like such a free trade. You get an inversion of this candle, really pretty clean inversion up here. You have equal highs right above, and first target around 1-to-1. Rest of the targets, everything that we didn't manage to take in AM. It's like, I don't know, however long you want to leave it for, or like these highs, I guess. But this is like a pretty mechanical setup though. If you ever see like a manipulation lower taking out like your internal low right here, and then you get a fair value gap to inverse towards like equal highs or equal lows, that's pretty free. I would take that for the most part if I were you, but just make sure time and price are aligning. I wouldn't say like time and price fully aligned here, but whatever. I mean, no one's. I don't trade during that time. I kind of stopped looking at the charts around 2:30ish. I'm not looking at fucking Rowan's journal, bro. Like, stop sending that shit. If it doesn't take internal high, can we wait for the retop? Yeah, you can wait for the retop if it doesn't take internal high. It's still pretty valid. But yeah, let's see. Let's look at some journals. Above, we had equal highs at our first imbalance above internal high, only on M and Q. Risk was good, and I've seen some screen time this will happen. Bullish feeders were respected, and it looked clean. It's a rare occasion where taking the inversion was fine. The draw was as clear as can be, worth giving it a shot. If price wants the equal highs, then the 2 minute above won't matter since we've displaced through the first one. So you took the 2 minute below, and you said you had equal highs on M and Q. Yeah, I mean, like, that's one way to look at it. But, like, you've also now been trading inversions in this Discord for a while now, and, like, you really are starting to get a grip on it. Like, you know that specifically, Minion. Like, that's why you got the roll, buddy. When I say time and price align, which time periods are ideal for PDI, so this is actually, like, a pretty fucking good conversation we can have right now. When I say time and price align, that doesn't mean for PDI specifically, and not all inversions are PDI. PDI is free distribution inversion. It's a combination of AMD model with inversions. But when I say time and price align, let's say it's 1250 right now. This is price during 1250. Right? You have your accumulation zone. 1 second. Let me make this a little more clear. Let's see, we'll mark out like a buy side level. This is like internal high, or like sweep. Let's call it like accumulation zone sweep. AZS, whatever. I just made that shit up, but looks kind of cool. Accumulation zone sweep. And then let's do like a 15-minute rebalance, whatever. So when I say time and price aligned, and it's especially with like PDI, it really, when it's going to work best, it is when time and price aligns. PDI really works at all times because AMD is a fucking pattern, and you combine it with something that's algorithmic, and it's just so fucking overpowered. But when I say time and price align, let's say we're about to open up our this is like 1 p.m. open. So this is 1 p.m. It hasn't opened yet. It's 12:50, and at 1 p.m. open, price manipulates down and breaks out of this accumulation zone, right? So this is time and price aligning, because prior to 1 p.m. open, price is accumulating, and when 1 p.m. opens up, it immediately opens and delivers lower. Let's even give it like some even higher fucking... Actually, no, we'll leave it at this, but like it immediately opens and manipulates lower. So if you know, like open high, low close, open low, high close, when a 1 hour candle, like a new 1 hour candle opens or a 4 hour candle opens, it's usually going to open up in a manipulative like move. Like it's creating the wick for the, you know, candle on the higher time frame. Like this move right here would end up being this part of the candle, right? It would end up being this wick of the candle. So when like a new hour opens up, you'll see like a quick manipulation move usually to the one side. In this case, let's say it's like 1 p.m. opens lower. It's in order to create this little wick right here, and then the real move is going to happen after. And so this is time and price aligning, right? 1 p.m. opens up, we break out of this accumulation zone. Let's say we get a bearish fair value gap in the process of manipulating down. This bearish fair value gap gets inversed. And now we have an opportunity to long towards internal high, right? And so this is the PDI playing out. Your first CP is going to be at the sweep of the accumulation zone, always at the sweep of the accumulation zone, unless you don't have a 1-to-1 RR. And if your bias is in line, let's say you're bullish as fuck on the day and you really think that the draw is higher, you leave runners towards the rest of these targets. Let's say you were bearish. Let's say you had a bearish bias, but 1 p.m. opened up and delivered lower and gave you an open low high close opportunity for a bullish PDI, but you're bearish, you full close at the sweep of the accumulation zone if you have at least a 1-to-1, right? This same thing can play out in the opposite manner. That being like, the manipulation is up, and where you manipulate up at 1 p.m. open. Oh my god, I'm like tweaking right now. And then your first target would be sweep of accumulation lows. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with these things, but sorry, I break the drawings. But does that make sense to you when I say time and price align? And so this doesn't go for 1 p.m. open. This goes for, fucking 10 a.m. open, 2 p.m. open. 2 p.m. open even more powerful, because 4 hours. But yeah, that's like when that aligns with like a PDI model, it's probably, I'd probably say it's almost like 90% win rate. I'm not even kidding. What happens when there are two back-to-back PDIs? Say at 115 a PDI played out, and right after another one formed, 115. Let's give it a look. I think I actually eyeballed that. Yeah, I was actually looking at this, and I was in the gym when this was happening. But so let's go over this first PDI right here. First, let's see how price opened up, just to see an idea. So price opens up, 1 p.m. opens up, delivers up. I wouldn't say this would be the open high though, really. I think for something to be an open high or an open low, it needs to manipulate into like a significant P array. But anyways, we start accumulating, and then we deliver up. We take out this buy side level, really clean, we respect it. The PDI seems to be aligning here, right? We have our accumulation, we manipulate up, we break out of this accumulation zone. We want to see a sweep of this accumulation zone. Accumulation zone. Accumulation zone. What the fuck am I talking about? Accumulation zone sweep. Oh, that's what it stands for. We want to see an accumulation zone sweep, right? For our first CP. We manipulate up. What happens in the process of manipulating up? Do we create a fair value gap to inverse? Let's see. We have 2 minute. We have a 2 minute right here. This is probably going to be the most prominent 2 minute. We have a 3 minute. We have a 3 minute. Okay, so let's base it off this 3 minute. I'm assuming that'd be the highest time frame, right? Oh, you have a 4 minute. So this 4 minute looks pretty clear in draw. 5 minute as well. So this would have been like kind of a weird PDI because you do have a lot of volume imbalances. Let's see. It's doggy. So I mean, this kind of you kind of just have to like pick your poison here, really. Whatever looks cleanest to you. I think if I was looking at this, I would probably focus on. So when you have like a scenario like this is mainly because it looks like this, primarily because the manipulation move up starts from so low, so your whole like fucking this whole manipulation leg is gonna have multiple fair value gaps, but not only the manipulation leg, it's gonna like tie in with the actual accumulation zone here. So like let's say when you want to find out which time frame fair value gap you want to inverse, focus on like, for example, this area right here. So like what would be like the cleanest in this manipulation move? I'd probably say that the 3 minute is probably the most viable one. 2 minute doesn't look too bad, but I'd say probably the 3 minute here. And so you have a 3 minute inverse value up around here. I'm kind of just estimating. Let's see. Yeah, like around here. The inverse happens down here, which is kind of far. Well, it's actually not that big of a range though. But you wouldn't get a 1-to-1 just off accumulation zone sweep. But towards this sell side level, which seems to be pretty fucking clear, you will obviously would get, you know, good enough risk. And so, sorry, I'm just like, I was kind of going over this, so I won't like spend too much time on it. But then you're saying, what happens when you get one immediately after? As you can see, right after this PDI, what happens is price starts accumulating again, manipulates up, and then again distributes lower. These double PDI scenarios, unless you've completed all short objectives, really like all bearish objectives, then this should only be extra confirmation for you. Like this second one, and I'll tell you why the second one is like also just fucking great, because notice this leg, this last leg that we delivered down from. Look at this. This last leg which we delivered down from. After we deliver down, we accumulate, and what do we manipulate up into? OT of the range, alright? That's fucking clean. So we rebalance this range, we take out this intermediate high right here. We probably also tap into like a 5 minute, I guarantee it. Tap into 5 minute bearish fair value gap as well. Also 5 minute inversion. And let's see what the highest time frame fair value gap here would be the inverse. You have a 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute. We're not going to count because it's considering the accumulation leg. So this, you would have to wait for like a 3 minute inversion right here of this inverse right here, and you would enter, I guess, let's say right there. If you get like a great fill, the inversion is all the way down here, so you can sort of put your stop loss in respect to that. Whether that's like here or here. This might be a bit tight. This looks like a clean stop though. You have really more than enough room for this inversion to hold on the 3 minute. Right, you're gonna have your accumulation zone low right here. The accumulation zone sweep is gonna be right there, and it is, by the looks of it, gonna give you like kind of, not really, but like almost a 1-to-1. You would just partial at 1-to-1 after that gets taken, right? You would get that right there. And then whatever else you want to see get taken, right? These sell side levels down here, those would be the rest of your targets for runners. But yeah, so really to simplify the answer for you is when you have a double PDI, this doesn't mean that the second one is invalid. In fact, you know, for the most part, this one looks fucking great. Just as long as everything is in line, the previous PDI didn't complete all the objectives, then there's no reason you shouldn't take the second one. That this is, price just moves like that, right? You go fucking up, down, and all you're doing is just catching. Accumulation is going to be around here. It's going to manipulate up before delivering lower. There's no reason that the second PDI wouldn't work unless, you're just super bullish and you're like, no way we go lower. Like, that'd be a scenario there, but this is pretty interesting, and this happens a lot too. This is actually how I discovered PDI. It was a day like this where it was literally only moving in PDI. Actually, if I recall correctly, it was two or three NFPs ago, NFP days, and that's like I just started to notice that like price would accumulate, and then eventually would manipulate, a certain direction. And then it'd get an inversion, and then it'd run higher, and then you'd see it happen again. After like a big pump, it'd accumulate, manipulate lower, inversion, run higher. And so like, I just started to pick up on that pattern a lot, and I was like, fuck, like let me backtest this and see if it's actually good. Turns out to be fucking godly. But yeah, I'm not gonna go over much more around this. I feel like there's a decent amount of sauce in here. But yeah, let's look at a couple more journals. Anyone want me to see their journal? You took an L today, Clay. Let's see. You got it in at like 2 minutes before 2 p.m. I was logged on my phone. Easily the worst trade I've ever taken. This is why the team journals are fucking. This is what it's made for. Like, look how he holds himself accountable. Fucking shows it to all of you. Like, if you do this, bro, you're gonna be a better trader. First day coming into PM session, we had a liquidity sweep in, respecting 15-minute fair value. Governance, we couldn't display slower. Once we stopped the liquidity sales looking for long, cut and now 1 minute inverse and target internal unfilled 5-minute fair. I mean, he stopped out. I don't know why I should have waited for 2 p.m. open shop UPA, not a convincing close for almost second pick if I waited for 2 p.m. open. That's easy the worst shit I've ever taken. Minus 300 GGs. Well, there you go, and this is answering the previous dude's question today, saying time and price for PDI. Price was accumulating. What happens? 2 p.m. opens up and manipulates him out, even though the draw was lower. And I mean, right, like just ends up fucking him here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can't do shit about that. It's understanding the importance of time and price. And yeah, don't take trades 5 minutes before a new hourly candle opens. He said he went into this. At least he's fucking honest himself. I can also see that he entered and the same candle took out equal highs and shit. Yeah, I mean, it's not a fucking good trade. There's nothing to say about it. But at least he knows that. And yeah, he's still $700 away from passing. You're gonna have to lose some here and there. Point is, you fucking stay consistent and just really make sure you're not FOMOing or getting impatient when trying to pass an account and you're so close. I didn't take no trades today, but there was one I liked. There was equal highs for me that I just wanted to know your thoughts on it. Journal, 2 trades. That's in the situation. Yo, these colors are fucking abysmal, bro. Never send a chart like this again. Holy shit. I can't even fucking see. I feel like I'm getting flashbanged. Bro, someone ban this kid right now. Dude, what the it literally looks like fucking seaweed. Dude, what the fuck? Alright, let's see. I don't even know what I'm looking at, gang. I'm trying to spot some equal highs here. I see equal highs here. Inversion takes out equal highs in the process of inversing. Here you get no entry, equal highs get taken. I liked this inverse, but I don't take it due to high that I'm there. I would have Imagine like fair value gap. Yeah, bro. I don't really know what to tell you, my guy. I think you need to quit trading. That's all I can say. Yeah, you shouldn't journal again, bro. I'm kidding. Just send me a zoomed in version, bro. I can't see that shit. I can't see it, Dookie, bro. I can't see it. Yeah, I got you, bro. Just send another screenshot zoomed in, Dookie. Dude, look at this homeboy. I remember reading his first one. He was like, just join, journaling, whatever, and look at all the things he's fucking journaled. Beast. This is gonna be a role I'm gonna be giving out soon to people who actually fucking, take this shit seriously and journal their shit. Automatically makes you more credible as a person. I entered into this 5-minute, got inverse instead of buy limit at inverse for value gap was going fine. I wasn't confident in myself, and once Blake said he was moving his stop to break even, I put mine a little under and ended up being someone's liquidity. That's one way to phrase it. Down 400 on this overall good day. Entered into this 5-minute, got inversed and set a buy limit at inverse for value gap was going fine. I wasn't confident in myself, and once Blake said he was moving his stops to break even, I put mine a little under and ended up being someone's liquidity. So you entered off the 5-minute. So whatever Blake said is irrelevant to you. It shouldn't be relevant at all because you entered off the 5-minute. So your stop loss should be down here. I'm gonna be honest. Your stop loss should be down here. Like it only makes sense for you because you're relying on this 5-minute fair value gap to hold, on this 5-minute inversion. You also have this tiny 5-minute inversion here. Your stop loss needs to be in relation to whatever time frame you are trading. All right. Please keep that in mind. If you took an entry off a 5-minute and it was going good for you and whatever, dude, if Blake says he's break evening because of a 1-minute scenario because he entered off the 1-minute, that's not something you can pay attention to. Overall though, good trade. It's unfortunate sometimes like psychology's a little off. You obviously weren't that confident in the trade. You didn't know if you should be in it. It happens to all of us. It happens to me too. Sometimes I'd fucking take a trade and I'll literally see you guys being like saying some other shit about another trade. I'm like, oh shit, like maybe my trade isn't that good, but like no, like if you trade and you've been trading long enough, you gotta learn to trust yourself. And more importantly, just all you really need to take away from like what I'm saying right now is whatever time frame you're trading on, stop loss and TP in relation to that. That's most important. So we will take a long or short in a 5-minute fair value gap like that one right after 2 p.m. today. For some reason, I thought you only take them in 15 or higher minute. No. 5 minutes totally fine. 15 minutes is fire, but 5 minutes totally fine. Hi, AJ. Thanks for saying hi. That makes me really happy. Can I check the other two? Yeah, hold up. Alright, so I was going to start about your price every line of time, but it was 600 something at you. What time was this? You get an inversion of this. Alright, equal lows below. And as long as you broke even after equal lows got taken. We made equal highs, so waited for those to get swept and caught 2-minute inverse, started equilibrium, so break even, 1-1, level. Ooh, this looks like a big trade. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, waited for 2 minutes to get inverse after this accumulation zone. You get a good entry at the premium, waited until accumulation zone got swept. Target equilibrium, target equilibrium, okay. Yeah, this is a good approach. You notice that move up was a manipulation. Valid. I don't know too much of what's going on here, honestly, but overall, good job. Let's see. Let's do like 2 more. My journal, Ash. The fuck? Alright. That's all I'm called for. Took 2 trades today. First trade was an aim. I was a dumbass and made the mistake of trading before noon, so I got wicked out for 600. Lost, learned my lesson. Till the next time, Blake. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. I took the second trade in the PM session, nice, and set up went in for 3 cons and ended up making 1,300, so I made back what I lost for that dumbass trade in AM. This looks really similar to the trade I just saw. Seems like, this is 10:30. It's 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, decent trade. Just be wary of other fair value ups in the leg that you could possibly be respecting, but always nice to be shorting from the premium, that's for sure. Lower risk. Looks like somewhat of a PEI, right? If this was only for value up that you had to inverse, then yeah, it looks pretty good. But I think this could be played a little safer, in my opinion. Cali time. Okay, word. So that was probably like 2 p.m. or some shit. What up, Blissful? Look at my trade. Look at my journal. Trade was horrendous. Oh, should I look at it? Why does your name be ... bro? Never gonna find your fucking journal. The fuck is your name, bro? What up, Bagsies? Yeah. 5-minute probably would have been way better. Not gonna lie. Don't get in the habit of taking whatever fair value up you want just because you want to get in earlier. You're gonna end up just getting fucked over in the end. I already checked yours, Dookie. Oh, wait. Never mind. I forgot. I'm gonna change my colors after this. I like this inverse, but I didn't take it due to the equal highs there was, and I would have entered. What equal highs? Oh, these equal highs. Okay, but the inversion happened before those equal highs got created. That's Mito, right? Because think about it. These equal highs created, especially under the inversion, is just opening up another soup opportunity. It's like opening up a soup opportunity. Let's say price takes these equal highs. It's still going to be inside this fucking inverse or value gap. You can just add to your position there, really. But yeah, that's if it happens after, bro. Who gives a fuck? Don't unless this happens where this gets inversed and then price starts running higher and you create equal highs near your fucking stop loss. Like obviously, chances are you're probably gonna get stopped now, but if it happens after, bro, who gives a fuck? I'm right off that CME chart. Yo, what's your journal called? Peace out, Ash. Alright, I'm gonna fucking stop the recording here.